Welcome to another episode of Diva Court.
We here, y'all.
We are live because it's summertime and we know that y'all are still up because the kids are out of school and they won't go to bed.
They won't go to bed.
Okay. So with me tonight is my co-diva.
Always here with you.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
She's sometimes only here in spirit, although her flesh is sitting
Spirit
in that chair.
and in truth. Shout out to Christ.
She said truth
Shout
with an
out to
F,
Christ.
okay? Not a TH.
Truth. I gotta get adjusted to this schedule with these kids.
Is that what it is? They won't go to bed either?
No, it's just
They
don't-
sleep late. They
No,
go to bed late and they get up
That's
late.
not the problem. Is they don't get up to wake me up in the morning. Like I get up.
Oh, so they make you late.
Right.
They make you late.
Because
All right.
I'm usually up at 5
Ladies
in the
and
morning.
gentlemen, we know that you have not turned that phone off because you hear us.
That is true.
Keep your phone on so you can get your edutainment from Diva Court. But before we start, find us on
Spotify.
Apple Podcasts,
Apple.
and Google Podcasts.
Google us.
Don't forget to look for our videos every Wednesday when we push them out real good. All right. Why are you up at night? Why can't you wake up in the morning?
Because, okay, so for the last, 8 months? Aren't they in school for like 8 months? 8, 9 months?
I thought it was 12 weeks.
11 months.
Okay.
They get 2 months off, so 9 months.
9.
For
Sounds
9
more
months,
like it.
you know, I am up at 5 in the morning to get one kid dressed so she can go up to school with her father. And then I go back up at 7 to drop the other one off at school. So my body is already in the motion of getting up. So this week, I literally have my clock set up for 8:30. I need to be out of the house at 9. And when I wake up, it's like, oh.
Wait a minute.
Such a drag.
So you did not leave your alarm set for school hours?
No.
You changed it.
I didn't change it because I didn't have to because they would wake me up.
Oh, so the kids were your alarm.
They were. So my husband would wake me up in the morning, and then when the oldest one was ready to go to school, she'd be like, all right, Mom, let's go. So after I drop her off, it would be like, you know, I know what I'm wearing. I know this is where this is it. So
So you come back, get ready.
Yeah. And if I do chill.
So you should set your alarm, listeners. The moral of the story is summertime when the children are not your alarm, you need to set an alarm so that you can get to work on time.
Or you will get fired. I had that conversation today. I might be coming back to the Me and Your Law group.
I'll be back.
She fired.
I need a job.
I definitely need a job.
I'm not a paralegal anymore, but I'm going to play one on TV.
I'm going to play one.
Okay.
I'm going to do something, honey.
All right, listeners, let's talk about the Diddy accuser, who is the lawyer for the Diddy accuser. And the lawyer for the Diddy accuser in New York was recommended by a federal court judge, a district court. She's a senior district court judge, Judge Cote, and that is a C-O-T-E. Denise Cote, which is amazing because Denise looked more like a Becky or a Karen, okay? But she has recommended that the attorney, Tyrone Blackburn, who represents, what's his name? Lil Rod? Little Pod, Little Rod, Little somebody. Little Liar is what we should be calling him. Who has filed the lawsuit against Puff Daddy, claiming that Puff Daddy sexually assaulted him. He's got his own problems because the judge is saying that what this attorney does is file salacious and inflammatory complaints against famous people so that he can force them to settle. What's your take?
My take is makes sense to me because, like, I was watching the TMZ documentary regarding this situation.
P. Diddy fall. The fall of P. Diddy or something.
And even prior to watching it, I even saw on, like, social media that when they drafted the suit, let me tell you how salacious it is. They have pictures in the complaint. When do they ever do that? Is that a thing?
Is
that a thing? There are pictures in the complaint with him and allegedly Stevie J. And when Stevie J sees it, he's like, that's not even me.
And then the person who was actually in the photo, listeners, came out and said, that is a picture of me.
Right. And I saw that all on social media that said, that's me. That's not. So that automatically, the credibility is shot.
Shot, lawyer, shot.
Especially not even the person who you say it is. Somebody else takes claim to that.
And saying, that's me.
That's me. No, that was me.
Ownership of their own photo.
Right.
My image.
And he is the guy who's we can't even say allegedly in the picture. The guy who claims to be in the picture.
Right.
He is like this big gay porno star. So he has a fan base. So when his fan base saw
and said, that's not Stevie J.
But see, that's when you got yourself caught up, because if you didn't put the pictures,
you would have gotten away with it.
You would have gotten away with it.
But the lie in your complaint is what shut you down. Okay, so he's got problems because there are articles that allege that there are prior judges separate and apart from the P. Diddy case that have been complaining about the salacious complaints, because his target is not towards justice and liberty and constitutional rights for his clients, but it's targeting stars and targeting famous people to get that check real quick. And the pattern is there, according to the senior judge. And the senior judge for the district court in New York says, I'm going to refer you to the disciplinary panel. So he might have a problem, because remember, judges can report you even to your local state bar.
Right.
To say snatch.
And this is the federal court too.
Federal court judge. You know how much credibility a senior federal district court judge. For them
to be involved
to say,
off of a complaint.
Check that license. Check that license. Sir, you have a problem.
Right.
Because I noticed his case has like,
yeah, it kind of.
Cassie's still out there with her little video that got released about her being dragged.
I don't think that was the same. That's not the same attorney, though.
No, it's a different attorney.
Right.
So what he did is piled on.
Right.
Because once he saw her case settled, he was like, next. Because remember, he was the second lawsuit.
Right.
After hers that was filed.
Here's a little caveat.
Tea time.
Little tea time. What I was about to say? Oh. So now that he's sent to the bar, for inquiry, what about all those people, all those celebrities who were getting, walked down? Does that open up a lawsuit for them to go after him now?
Possibly, because if he falsified documents, he's got an issue. If he defamed them, you understand? Because remember, defamatory statements, defamation claims, if the information you provided was false and you knew it to be false, you can be held liable.
Yeah.
So some of those stars, can you imagine how much money they would be seeking? Because they're like, you ruined my career, or you ruined this project for me, and this was a $20 million project. All the money he's made off of all the litigants he sued in the past could end up going out the door.
You think he already spent that money?
You know that money is gone. How many shiny suits has he worn for that?
Shark suits.
How many shark suits? How many gator shoes? They're gone. Okay? So I'm sure he is gatored up, sharked up, and now he's about to be hemmed up.
Can we get to that?
Oh, we have to.
What was that?
Look, the producer got all kinds of mix mosh, hodgepodge sounds coming out. Okay? Yeah, so bye-bye to that issue. All right, your former president
He was yours
has been, no, he wasn't my president because I didn't vote for him. I survived his presidency.
Surviving the Trump pregnancy.
Yep, it's really a pregnancy because I see his belly.
Wait a minute.
Convicted felon.
Wait a minute.
34 counts is what the New York jury said that they found unanimously that Donald Trump is guilty of. All right, so there's a whole lot to peel as it pertains to that large onion.
I feel like it was still a waste of time.
You know what? I'm not going to lie. I'm no Donald Trump fan. But that case is not the sexy one for me. Okay? I know it has a lot of salacious Stormy Daniels stuff associated with it. But I can do without that.
Right.
He has done so much other egregious stuff. So much other illegal stuff.
It's the hypocrisy for me. Like, they just don't understand. It's like they don't see the forest past the trees. All of the things. There's probably like maybe 5 senators who probably and 3 House representatives who don't find themselves in any mess. But the minute you open up,
I think that defense is not where you're going to win the people.
I'm not saying
No. Here's why I say that. Because it's like saying, officer, do you see all these cars flying by us?
But that's
doing
why,
more than the speed limit?
But that's why it's gonna win the people, because everybody says that. Like, look at, you don't see that car was going faster than me. Everybody feels that.
But
it's like
the defense that the officer has roadside, I caught you. The defense the prosecutor has when you get to the courthouse is it's still illegal.
No. My argument is not the jury was wrong. What I'm saying is that I still feel like
should it
this
be fodder for Trump supporters?
Right. I feel
fodder.
like this was
fodder.
This was politically.
But to be honest with you, what would a diehard Trump supporter need to see to not support him? That's my point. Nothing.
There's nothing.
Nothing.
But
what the prosecutor is saying is, I'm just going to do my job.
I know, but I get all that. But what I'm saying is that the layman who knows that politicians are corrupt and scandalous and have side whores and pay them off and paying for abortions and paying for this and and blah 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 and the businessman who's fudging like. This is something that everyday America does on a regular basis, and you prosecute their guy. It doesn't. They're not going to be like, oh, he's a felon. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to do that.
So here's my plan: we send everybody to jail.
I can't hear you.
I agree.
We send everybody to jail.
Everybody goes to jail. The senators, the doctors, the lawyers,
you know, his numbers
the former
went up.
presidents.
His numbers went up.
I mean everybody.
No, let me tell you what numbers
his numbers
went up.
And his donations went up.
And it's because people.
The minute they got the verdict, his numbers went up like 6%.
The people are still pumping money into him. And I saw a post that said, how you know you're part of a cult? The leader's always right. You do what he says, and you don't go against him, and you usually don't know that you're part of a cult.
That tends to be true.
So I was like, okay, that was a cute post, which is truthful. Here's the problem you have. If he would just stop shooting himself in the foot, you know, the rumor that they say about Donald Trump is, how do you know when Donald Trump is not shooting himself in the foot?
When he's not talking?
No, when he's loading a gun.
I think the Georgia case has more merit.
Whole lot more. I just need 11,599 votes. The man is telling you more than I need to be elected.
Where are they having that case in Fulton?
Fulton Superior.
Is it like Johns Creek? Creek's.
Look, everybody else is Johns Creek in Fulton County when you pull a jury. I'm like, I don't understand.
It's gonna be the blackest jury ever, which might not be good.
Listen to me,
because the black folk,
I have tried several cases in the Superior Court of Fulton County. It is predominantly African American. Where are they when it's time for jury service? I guess we have felonized all the Fulton County citizens in the state of Georgia because, honey,
they don't even show up.
I have 51 in my pool, and I think 5 were black.
Is that like something that somebody needs to say?
Yes, somebody has to say it. But the problem is this somebody didn't have time on that day. This somebody was trying to save
this is a
the clients.
98% African American community.
Trust me.
Why is it that there's not a representation of
the pool, the county pool, the population? I don't know what to say, but all I know is there's way more important trials that they could have had. I understand it's illegal. I understand you have the evidence. I understand all of that stuff. But the problem I have is, let's move on.
How many days you think he's serving in jail?
Not a one. Not a one.
They can't put the president.
No, they can. They can. But let me break it to your listeners.
All right, break it down.
He is above the law.
That is true.
Forget about the saying in this country, no man is above the law. That was theory. Let's talk about reality. In reality, he's above the law.
Why you say that?
Because some of his conduct during his court proceedings, if you think
That you was gonna be
you
able to
can
get away.
try to be that contemptuous in a courtroom in front of a judge that's already told you on numerous occasions, check yourself before you wreck yourself. Try that in any county, in any state, in any courtroom, as low as a traffic ticket, as low as a speeding ticket. Go in court before a magistrate and say, "What? I don't agree with that. This is garbage. This courtroom is show mockery, ma'am. I'm going to hold you in contempt. Do not do that again. Oh, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? You can't. You going to jail." I've seen people go to jail for having a cell phone ring when the judge has made the announcement. If you have a phone, turn it off now. If you don't turn it off, you're going to do 5 days in the county, or I'm going to take that phone and I'm going to donate it to, some of the judges will donate it to battered women's shelters. I'm gonna,
You got to still pay the bill?
no, they're going to cut the phone off. They're going to cut the bill off.
Do
and
they
they're
pay
gonna,
the bill?
No. You pay the bill.
Wait. If I'm under contract and I still owe money on this phone.
Go get you another one because you're in
but
contempt.
Wait. No.
Your
What I'm saying
sanction.
is, I'm on a monthly payment plan for this phone.
I don't
and you take it from me.
care. It is a sanction. Just as I could sanction you $5,000, I'm gonna sanction you. What's the value of this phone? $800. I'm sanctioning you the value of this phone.
I'm reporting it lost.
You can go ahead and report it, whatever. I don't care
So I
what you
can-
tell T-Mobile, but I know it's not going on with you.
This phone is lost and stolen.
Lost
I
and
don't-
stolen?
Lost and stolen. It's lost. 'Cause I ain't
I
getting
lost
back.
it when it was stolen
And
from
but
me
it
by the
was stolen
judge.
from me by the judge, and I ain't getting it back. It's lost. It's a lost cause.
Lost cause. Please, can you give me
Lost
another one?
and
I'm
stolen.
filing an insurance claim on it.
Right.
The judge could care less. That's a phone.
I'm like,
that
can you just pay
somebody
this phone off with
in
that
a
insurance
shelter
plan?
is going to have.
Oh,
Okay.
man.
So my point is, he is above the law. That's a hard pill for me to swallow as an attorney because I bought into the story. I bought into the theory. I believe that. I thought it was ethical.
When did you realize that?
My first week of practicing law. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, I mean,
No, it took a few years for me to see the pattern. Because remember, you want to
well, I'm
believe.
about to cut you off because the word on the street is that the judge was out there setting him up for an appeal. Now, he may not think he was,
Oh.
but when, word on the street is I heard that he was telling jurors like, oh, if 4 of y'all believe that this count is accurate, but some of y'all don't believe that this count is accurate, we'll still consider, as long as you find him guilty on something, we'll still consider him guilty. That don't sound like unanimous to me. That sounds like,
Okay.
So
let me clear it up for the listeners.
injustice.
Because that's
Wait, let me look in the camera.
that's disgusting.
Injustice.
And let me look in the camera. Disgust this. Because that's disgusting.
Faux
Okay?
justice.
She got injustice and I got disgustus. Okay? Because this is disgusting that people would say that. All right, listeners.
You heard that though?
I heard it.
Okay.
I heard it. Let me explain to you, listeners, what the confusion and the
I'm gonna
buffoonery.
drink while you explain it.
Why would you drink while I'm
Because
explaining?
I don't know about trust. you.
Because the lies are so salacious, you got to
Exactly.
take a sip of some drink on it. Let me explain it for you, listeners. Okay. So Donald Trump had 34 counts.
34. And isn't
34
that
counts.
That's some bull. Like 34 counts. Like you gonna catch something.
Okay,
It's
okay,
like if you
okay.
have sex with 34 women,
Could you
you're
call-
going to catch something.
I'm going to need you to call.
Maybe 34.
Young
34
Thug.
sex-
And I'm
Wait
gonna
a
need-
I'm not
minute.
finished. 34 STDs. You could probably catch maybe all 34 women got it. But you're
don't-
going to catch
I
something.
don't think any of his charges were sleeping with
STDs.
women.
Yes, it was.
No. His charges were falsifying business records to cover up criminal conduct.
Okay.
Okay? Start there. So,
Oh, let me put a disclaimer out. I am not a Trump supporter. I'm just laughing.
why are you
and joking.
disclaiming that?
Because I'm about to start a new business and
Oh,
I need to make
wow,
sure that
wow.
I am here.
Now
for,
she's
I'm
worried about
neutral.
her customer base. Uh-huh.
I am neutral.
Here on Diva Court,
I'm
she
just
is
here to provide an opinion.
no,
of certain things.
You're giving
that,
edutainment.
Wait, what's that? What did they say when you? Not all these opinions are of the
of the
not
Diva
all,
Court.
Not all these opinions that I'm giving of the diva who saying them.
of me.
Not all these opinions are my opinions.
None of these
I'm
opinions
speaking for the people.
are supported by this diva.
Right? None of these opinions. No matter what I say, unless I see a crisis.
Hey, so we got to go back to starting the show right. Because we started the show, season 1 and season 2, saying we're not responsible for what she's going to talk
And
about.
I'm not either.
Nor are we responsible for what she's going to say. Nor do we own the topics. Let me just slide it right in there in the middle of the show. Okay? We don't own the topics. Okay? Nor do we want to purchase them. Let me explain to you, listeners, what the controversy and the salacious buffoonery is about. Okay? When Donald Trump had 34 counts that he was facing, those counts require facts. And there were underlying facts. So let's say Donald Trump was charged with a homicide, killing someone. And I'm not saying he was charged with killing anybody, so please don't send any letters, emails, text message. This is just a hypothetical. So hypothetically speaking, let's say Donald Trump was charged with murder. It's a homicide. But a homicide can have several different manners of death. It could be a stabbing. It could be a shooting. It could be a rape. It could be a blunt force trauma to the head. It could be all these facts that he did and then the person's dead. So he shot him, he stabbed him, he hit him in the head with something, and he raped him. Let's say that hypothetically speaking, right? What the judge's instructions were is, you must find Donald Trump guilty unanimously for the murder. If you all don't agree that he killed anybody, that's too bad. That charge is out the door. But if you find that he's guilty of murder, you don't have to all agree as to which one of his acts caused the murder.
Okay.
So if I believe as a juror it's the blunt force trauma that killed the person, I can find him guilty.
And if I
but
believe
everybody,
it was poison.
and if you believe it was the poison,
Okay.
you can say guilty. And if the other juror believes that it was the rape, they can say guilty. And if another juror believes that it was the bullet, they can say guilty.
Okay.
So it doesn't matter which one of his underlying acts, because he had so many of them, that you find or believe is the reason you think he's guilty of falsifying business records to cover up his crime. You can still come up with a unanimous decision. However, here's what other people did. The judge's instructions violated his rights because the judge is saying it doesn't have to be unanimous. If 3 of you believed it was the stabbing, then it doesn't have to be unanimous. If 2 of you believe it was the
Right.
shooting, it doesn't have to be unanimous. Can you believe it? Talk radio, salacious people. The Donald Trump judge is unfair. He told these jurors it doesn't have to be unanimous. Just pick what you like, and then you can say he's guilty. Not true, not true, not true. So now I'm going to use Donald Trump's case
Do
as
we
the
have
example. 34 counts. 34 counts. Okay? And remember, listeners, how we come up with counts? Different acts. You might have done it on the first, and then you did it on the second, and then you did it on the third, and then you did it on the 20th, and then you did it on the 39th. Each one of those acts violating the statute is a count. Counts are not uncommon across this country. Ask Young Thug. They are facing 69, 49. I've had an indictment that had 100 and something counts on it. And I'm like,
is there an egregious amount of counts?
no, as long as the prosecutor can connect the date to the crime you committed, they can have counts. So long as the prosecutor can connect.
It actually seems like it might be harder to do it if they have so many counts.
Harder to convict?
Yeah.
You don't have to convict on all the counts. Because remember, I just tried a case, listeners, in the month of April. And guess what? Jurors find 3 of those counts of the 19 not guilty, but found my client guilty on the other counts. Hello.
Right.
For my client, it's still devastating.
Right.
Because it's like, whether you do 34 or you do 19, I'm still facing a long time in jail.
Right.
Prison, that is, not jail, because he's coming out of jail and going to prison. But my point is 19 counts, 34 counts. They didn't have to find him guilty on all 34 counts. They could have found him guilty on the first 5 counts or the first 10 counts or the first 9 counts or the first whatever of the 34. It doesn't have to be all 34, but any of the 34, you're going to find him guilty. All of you must agree.
Do you think prosecutors just be putting up counts?
All day long. Prosecutors
nothing?
overcharge. No, they overcharge the case. Not whether or not they can prove it, but why would you even charge that minuscule part? You understand what I'm saying? Like, they'll charge something like possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony. Why you need to charge that when you charging me with murder and somebody's dead? And I'm going to get a life sentence if I'm convicted on the murder.
Right.
So what more do you need? Like, when a judge is sentencing someone, I'm going to sentence you to 3 life sentences. What, he's going to die and come back? And if you come back, you're going back to death. And what, he's going to die and come back?
Didn't somebody argue that I died and I came back and that don't count? I feel like I heard that argument before.
I have never heard
There was like somebody like died medically, but they
So you were convicted before the death?
They was convicted before the death.
And you
sentence,
died medically.
And they died medically,
And you
but they
came
brought
back.
them back.
And said, please don't take me
And
back to
it
the
was
jail. I
like,
served
no,
my
they
time.
There might be an argument to that.
Look, I got to drink to
There
that.
might be an argument. That life is over. I'm a new man. I's a new man now. You might go ahead and look that up, producer. I'm pretty sure that's
I've
a thing.
never heard of that one, but hey, that's a good defense. Sorry, they pronounced me
that
dead.
case?
No, I'm not going to make a fool of myself. That's a sham and a mockery, and that's a schmockery. I still, as an attorney, want to keep a level of credibility. To my grave, that is, to my grave. Thank you very much. I don't know who would make that argument, but only a dummy would make that argument.
Well, someone named Benjamin made that argument.
Benjamin Schreiber, is that Schreiber? Schreiber. Made the argument on appeal to a court of Iowa, saying that when he briefly died in 2015, before being revived at a hospital, he completed obligation to the state. I am certain that Benjamin is still in prison right now.
Is he still in prison?
If he's alive,
to know.
he is. Briefly died and argued, hey, I died, so I
Right.
served that sentence.
I think that's a
I need to
valid
be
argument.
free because I'm done. That is funny as I don't know what. That happened in Iowa, listeners. But Benjamin, I'm sure, I haven't looked it up, but I am certain that if you are still alive today, that you are still serving your time, because I don't think the judges are going to buy that. Benjamin, you'd have to come back as somebody else. You're going to have to reincarnate as somebody else and not be Benjamin when you
Right.
come back, so that you can actually get around those charges. But to come back as yourself.
Did he get off?
No, there's some more interesting stuff. The convicted murderer argued that he had been revived against his will.
Oh, he wanted to die.
He signed a do not resuscitate order years
Ooh,
before.
and they still saved him.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, he went creative. Was he pro se?
I don't know.
I don't see a lawyer on that. That sounds very suspect. But it's a good argument. I give him an A for effort. I would have never come up with that creative argument, sir. So, Benjamin, you are doing well.
That makes sense
What
to
you
me.
should have done
You
is,
already took my life.
Benjamin said, and I told you not to bring me back.
I told you. Not
And
to
you
bring-
resuscitated me. So since you did, you violated my rights.
Right.
Now let me out.
Yeah, so what they're saying is you have to either be still alive or dead. So, no.
You got to stay dead.
Yeah, you got to stay dead. You can't-
Benjamin, you got to stay dead,
you
sir.
can't have it both ways.
You can't come back.
You can't be like Jesus and resurrect.
You're either alive or you're dead.
In order for you to escape this sentence, you're going to have to stay
Jesus
dead.
ain't escaped his sentence. What makes
That-
you think you was going to escape
Hey,
yours?
then you have to come back in
They
spirit.
didn't put Jesus back on the cross when they found him. That's a good argument. They didn't put Jesus
Hey,
back on the cross.
They
hey.
put him back on the cross every time they
No,
sinned.
nope, no, they did not.
They put him
No,
back
they
on the
did not.
cross every time they sinned.
It-
Hey, he His sacrifice is in vain.
No, sir.
Get gone.
You said you
Don't
were
crawl
risen.
on up on there.
So rise right back up there.
Rise yourself right back there.
And crucify. That's what the Bible says. You keep crucifying them over and over again.
I say, what are we doing? We're doing the bleach, blonde, bad built, butch body. Woo, let me tell you something.
She wanted to say the beep so bad.
Representative Jasmine Crockett went off on Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Yes, ma'am.
But it was a comeback.
Yes.
It was not a setup. Marjorie
It
Taylor
was a
Greene
planned one,
listeners,
too.
you can tell she was practicing
Right.
because she has called her that before.
Oh, what
Maybe.
now?
Maybe not.
a what?
Bleach, blonde, bad built, butch body. She wanted to say the last
Hey,
part.
I know she
done said the last
left
part
the last
before.
word off of that.
Because she was like, I can't stand
Yeah,
that bleach, blonde, bad built, butch body big.
Yeah, she stopped.
You know she did
stopped.
like
there was
this,
one more
too.
B. There was one more B
Yeah.
that she was gonna
'Cause
call
the
you.
B is the period.
But she had to stop because guess what? She knows there are rules governing her
Right.
conduct.
Right.
She's actually in the middle of a session, and Marjorie Taylor Greene listeners decided to talk about her eyelashes. I'm sorry, I can't hear you over your eyelashes. Marjorie set it off.
Let me say, Marjorie has one black girlfriend who told her,
That
what
was
you
okay?
should've said. You know what you
No,
should
no,
say.
no.
I don't see her being that creative.
No.
I don't see her being that creative.
No.
I don't know her, so maybe.
No,
Well, she is from Georgia.
She is from Georgia,
So
and she's country.
She been around them.
And she's country.
She been around them.
So
She's been around enough fake eyelashes.
Yeah.
yes,
She know 'em when
yes,
she see 'em.
Yes. So my point is, she started it,
She did.
and Representative Crockett
Ended it.
finished it with a bang.
With the tag team match.
wait.
Hey.
The tag team was crazy. She didn't even need to jump in.
She did not need help,
But I think
but they helped anyway.
what happened was they were both going back and forth with her. And then when she did the eyelashes thing, and then Jasmine came back with bleach, blonde, bad built, butch body, beat.
The good news is,
Then AOC
the
was
chair,
like,
the
AOC,
chair said-
wait, before you say that, AOC was like, baby girl.
Yeah.
It was like, where'd that come from? Like, you sound like you from 1994.
Let me tell you
Talking
what
about,
it sounds
baby girl, let me tell you.
It's a disgrace, is really what it is. I like the comeback, listeners. I like the comeback. Ain't nothing like a good comeback.
Ain't nothing like
But
it.
I really felt like the standards are really low now in terms of how,
set it off.
Trump has lowered it. Our snake's belly is not lower than how it's gone. So the problem you have is when you are telling.
Is it? But no. I'm not. Do you know how racist they used to be back in the day when they used to be in those Senate and House representative meetings? Like, we don't want those niggers. We don't want them. We don't want them here. We don't want them there. We don't want them anywhere. You know
Okay.
what I'm saying? So I'm pretty sure that the standard has not. The standard is
So-
the same.
So here's the thing. I think
standard
the
is the
standard
same.
as it pertains to how they treated each other was respectful. Because I
There
think
was
they,
no niggers in the thing.
No. They were talking
them.
to other people. They were talking to other people. They were talking about other people.
okay.
So I think they were disrespectful and they were addressing the public as it pertains to people of
Their
color.
which is even worse.
Which is
because
worse.
Those are their constituents.
Well, they probably was trying not to let you vote. So maybe that's when it changed.
you know
when
your
you could
boy.
actually vote.
You know your boy Biden was one of those ones that say, those niggers. He's one of the ones that say they got him on tape.
Oh, they do?
Yes, they do.
Wow, I didn't know that. So
Oh,
people.
was that you being sarcastic? Like, I didn't know.
You can.
Duh.
You can.
Like, hello. He came. He
You
was in the
missed-
Senate
you
since the
didn't miss that?
1940s.
You didn't miss that?
He was in the Senate since the 1940s. Like, hello.
Okay, so listen to me. A reformed racist I can deal with. Okay?
I don't
A
trust them.
reformed racist. But a blatant one, I'm not fooling with you, Donald Trump.
What if you are a blatant reformed racist?
Wait. You blatantly reformed?
So it's relapsing? Is that it's a drug?
No, when you
Hold on,
wasn't-
do I
no,
need-
you
I
wasn't.
just couldn't get
Wait.
over the N-words.
You wasn't a
I
subtle.
tried my best, but it was like crack. I had to
Right.
sniff it some more.
You wasn't a subtle racist. Like when I say subtle racist, like I think anybody who even though.
Okay, so what races back in those days
hold
was
on.
subtle?
The ones who didn't say.
They had signs saying
Wait,
blacks
no,
not allowed.
No. The ones who didn't vote for the civil rights bill, but they didn't speak on it. They just was like, I'm not going to vote for that. You know what I'm saying? That they just use it at everyday business. Just like the subtle people with homophobia when it came to like the law of, marriage. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
The ones who just didn't vote for it. Are they homophobic now? Nah. Maybe not. We don't know, but they didn't speak on it.
But
Do you
what
see
about
I'm saying?
what about the? Well, I guess
see what I'm saying?
you're gonna have different groups because I think
Yeah.
there's a group that says, hey, let love live, just let it live over there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I don't want to block anything. I just don't want to join. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm not coming. I'm not partying.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Then you have
so I
your-
think there were some people like that.
Then you have your group who was like, I don't care, but I don't want nothing to change, so I'm just gonna vote the way I want to vote. I'm not wasting my political.
But I
capital
still
on this.
think they treated each other differently. I don't think anybody was on the floor. I think their decorum was a little bit more respectful.
You think that when they had the civil
I'm talking about
rights,
towards each other.
when you think that when they had the civil rights conversation,
Have you ever seen any of the footage? Because remember,
I
they
have
used to
not.
record back then. That's my point. It's like if I could see some type of video footage that shows them, being catty or petty or childish
they're
or
known for
disrespectful.
they're known for being petty.
No.
They've been petty
I
for a
used to
long
see things like that in foreign countries, and I used to look and go, "Woo!" That throwing chairs and they're like fist
time. Remember
fighting.
when Bush had to like duck that shoe?
They're fist fighting. So I didn't see, other than third world countries, I never saw the American
Oh, the Americans was terrible.
Congress or
They was not civilized when they was talking about freeing them slaves.
I don't
Let me
know.
tell you what you're not gonna do up in my
No,
state.
no. I can understand that because segregation today, segregation tomorrow, segregation forever. I understand that, but they were still saying it respectfully.
You old nigger lover? You think that's what?
That was
you think-
respectful.
you
What
think
are you
that was
talking about?
respectful?
Yeah.
You think nigger lover
Abs-
is more respectful than bleach blonde, bad built butch body?
Absolutely.
No.
In their head. That's why they say things like, I think we need to bring respect and discipline and order back.
I think
You're like, back from where?
When?
From where?
When was that?
Back from where and back to where? Because it never existed.
From my dreams.
Ah, there you go. Now that's a good spot.
I think it's the same.
No, I think the clapback was
It was just
good.
more creative.
I think it was very creative, and I think she stopped at the last B, and she didn't say it.
Wait, what would be the? I'm thinking of all the N words that I could use until I get to nighttime.
Nasty, non-secretarial,
Nighttime
nincompoop
nasty,
looking,
nincompoop
knucklehead.
Knucklehead nigger. Sir, knucklehead starts with a K.
Oh, okay. He'll say just like the KKK.
Exactly.
That's K's. We know about K's around here. That is crazy. But kudos to the
Who?
representative. The representative. The clap.
Bleach
the,
blonde,
the
black,
clap
bill,
back.
butch body.
Yeah, the bleach
Let
blonde.
me see how fast you can say
bad built. No, that's a tongue twister,
Try
honey.
it. Let me see.
She is good because
One
she
more
leaned.
time.
She leaned in. But you know what? I think if Marjorie Taylor Greene was smart, she would have gone for the wig.
Oh, what would she say?
She would have gone for the wig. She would have said,
A weaver dirt cheap.
"A weaver dirt, ma'am.
A wigger dirt cheap.
Do that? Does the circus know where you left the squirrel?"
The Secret Service checked that
The
squirrel on your
Secret
head.
Service checked to see if the
Oh
squirrel.
my gosh, she would have been done.
Yeah, she should have talked about the wig because the wig was lacking.
You always talk about
Representative
but see-
Jasmine.
But see, here's the thing.
Jasmine,
They don't
Jasmine.
know that the wig is lacking. They don't know until they know.
She knows, but she probably felt
No.
like if I go for the eyelash, I won't get punched in the face.
No, she don't know.
She got to know.
She don't know.
She's got to know.
They don't know.
Okay.
They don't know.
So she thinks that's her hair.
They're no. It's not that they think it's her hair. Like even if they think it's a wig,
She think it's
doesn't
nice.
Know it's a,
I don't know the quality.
They don't know that. There's
I don't
a
know
bad
that
wig.
that's not a
They
good
don't.
quality.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes,
That's what I'm
Representative Jasmine, we were lacking
Oh,
in that
they
area.
can't. She can't go for the wig.
I'm gonna need
because
you to come correct
Yeah.
with the wigs, please.
She couldn't go for the wig because that.
The wig looked like Grandma had it. Your comeback was good, but your hair back was not.
Not the hair back.
Okay, so come back with better hair next time.
Come back with better hair.
All right, so the mother of former First Lady Michelle Obama has passed away.
How old was she?
86.
She lived a long life.
Moment of silence for a matriarch. I just have to be respectful to a woman who was able to pull her children from poor
Were they in poverty?
beginnings to, yeah, they were poor. Poor beginnings to a White House, to First Lady status. And in honor of her, her daughter has represented the White
wow.
House well. You have done well. So, well done.
She taught her how to be a good housewife.
You said be a good woman, and she was. She got her education. She didn't depend on a man, yet she married a good man, a respectful man. No drama, Obama. So to the Obama family, Diva Court sends our condolences regarding the passing of your
Black women,
matriarch.
that's what submission looks like.
Hey, it looks good on her.
Let's do a little
Toot toot to matriarch. Went to the White House, sacrificed her years, took care of her grandkids,
Nice.
made sure everything was right. No, you can't climb that fence, Sasha.
Okay.
Have a seat, Malia.
If your son was in the White House,
Mm-hmm.
would you take care of the grandkids?
It depends.
Okay.
Which son?
That's not where I was going with that.
I have several sons. Certain sons, yes. Certain sons, no. I will not.
I'm just saying, would you
It's something I would
retire?
consider. It's something I would consider.
Okay.
It's something I would consider because I would be concerned about
Who's around them
the
kids.
schedule, the parent schedule, and who has access
To the kids.
to the children.
Yeah.
Because remember, a White House has strangers in
And
it,
those kids were young.
very young. And they have strangers in there. We have chefs they don't know. We have Secret Service. We have men over there. We have, women over there. We have. It's too much. I would have to be the watchdog.
Okay.
I would have to, because I couldn't live with myself if I were financially stable enough to say I'll do it. And
You would probably be getting paid very well as the babysitter of the first
you know they didn't
babysitter.
pay that lady nothing, because those are her great. No, it's like
You
I
think
hear
they
people.
gave her a stipend?
I don't think they gave that lady anything.
Did she
I don't
live,
think she
did she
needed
live
it.
there?
Yeah, she lived there.
Okay.
She lived there.
Okay,
And
so she didn't need any money.
I
What
mean,
if she wanted to buy her some tampons?
I have
You
heard
think they had tampons
at that
there?
age, she don't need no tampons, ma'am. She was too old for that.
I'm just
Look,
saying, like, feminine needs, like,
I'm
deodorant,
sorry.
You think they got it on stock?
Ma'am, Menno has already paused when she got to the White House.
So I guess what I'm saying, you think they got all that stuff on stock? Like, they don't need to buy anything, huh?
No. I don't think she needed them. I don't think she stopped her retirement income or her Social Security income. I don't think she wanted to be dependent on them for anything. If she wanted to go to the store with her, hey, I'm going to go visit. I'm flying over there.
You
I'm
think
going to
she
be
had Secret Service on her, too?
possibly. Because remember, while they're serving in the White House, she's prey. Because remember now, if I kidnap her,
Yeah.
I can get you to do just about anything
Right.
to get her back. So I'm certain she has security on her. But she did her job, and may she rest in peace and in power. Listeners, the Alex Murdaugh clerk. Lord. The clerk they've opened an ethics investigation into the clerk's conduct. I don't know why that lady thought that she could write a book off of Alex Murdaugh, interact with jurors, put that in the book, hurry the book to press.
Did she?
Don't take so long
Did
to
she
get me.
confess in the book?
She was talking about too much in the book.
And I said to them,
Ma'am, you can't do that. So she's ruined, in my opinion, the conviction. I think he is going to get a new trial, especially now that an ethics investigation has opened up.
That part.
Jurors are giving affidavits saying, I felt pressured because she was like, don't listen to him, don't be fooled, hurry up and give us a verdict, because she needed to publish a book.
Was she a
Ma'am, why
Karen?
you couldn't wait?
Was she a Karen?
All
Or a Quran?
a double Karen, a Korean. Yeah, so she's now being investigated, listeners, and they're looking into her conduct, how she interacted with the jurors during the Murdaugh trial. And my God, come on, lady. You know how much money the state spent to prosecute that man? And now they're going to have to do it again thanks to you.
Right.
We hope that you have to cover the cost.
She
could be facing criminal charges.
What do you think they'll charge her with? Jury tampering?
Well, jury tampering, yes, that's one. Violation of office. Remember, the Ahmaud Arbery prosecutor got prosecuted for not doing her duties.
She was prosecuted?
Yes. Remember, we told the listeners.
Oh, but they didn't. They still have to.
The case. No, the case hasn't been tried yet.
Right.
She's gonna get a deal.
When I say prosecuted,
they're waiting for it to go away. Yeah, no, she was actually arrested.
No, I'm waiting.
She hadn't been tried yet.
Right, that's what I'm talking about.
No, she hadn't been tried yet, but she was prosecuted. That means
so
they arrested, indictment. Now we're waiting to go to trial.
I thought prosecuted mean that you are in trial or.
No. That's different. A prosecution is I'm gonna go to a grand jury and ask them to prosecute you. I'm gonna go to a magistrate judge and get a warrant for your arrest. I'm prosecuting you. I'm gonna arrest you. But the adjudication of the case is different. The adjudication of the case is, we're going to have a trial. No, we're going to have a plea. That kind of stuff is how it got resolved is different from you being prosecuted. Once you go into prosecuted. But she could ruin her life. The people who did the book, they backed off the book. Now nobody, the publishers, co-writers, all these people are like, we didn't know anything about that. We're not involved. We have nothing to do with it. So she didn't get what she ultimately was looking for out of the book and out of the process. All she had to do was wait. Right. I mean, Marsha Clark wrote books after O.J. Simpson. Right. Darden became famous after O.J. Simpson, but they waited. They waited. Yeah. They waited, and then they pounced and got the money.
She just saw a really nice house that she knew she had to
She couldn't wait no more?
She couldn't wait no more. That house was about to sell.
It was on the market.
It was on the market.
And lots of buyers were lined up, especially in that time frame. Buyers were lining up left and right. So Alex Murdaugh, ethics charges are coming. Becky Hill, look out, sis. You might be in a cell next door to Mr. Murdaugh. Ain't that sad? And as we say here on Diva Court before we close our show, we'll drink to that. I want to drink twice. Is that okay?
Sounds allegedly like an alcoholism issue.
Look, somebody who drinks in the middle of my explaining of stuff wants to ask me, is it okay to drink before and after I close the show? Huh. Is that hypocrisy on a high level?
Alleged.
Find us, listeners, every week on Spotify. Apple Podcasts. And Google Podcasts. Don't forget to look for our videos every Wednesday when we push them real good.
Nice.
I hope you loved our beautiful colors. Rainbow is what we were doing tonight. And we have rainbow pockets, listeners. If you like our outfits, make sure you subscribe. Put your hands together for Diva Court. And now, as I close the show, I can say, we'll drink to that. Some of us sip, some of us gulp.
You know, it got to be effective. It got to be effective.
You got to be affected.
Affected.
She's affected. Just don't say infected.
Right. I'm going to leave that to Trump.
Hello. We got to drink to that.